Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be blunt here. There was a rather big problem that happened after I recorded this part. I was listening to it, and now if you listen really carefully, you can hear me talking. I fucked up. The game volume was way too loud while I recorded this, and that essentially means you can just hear the sound of my voice. Now, I have to post-commentate over the entire thing, which is really quite tragic since I know exactly how this battle turns out. Spoiler warning, it does end this part, which I was not sure would happen at one point. At this bit I was saying how I don't actually mind Luftdisc. Yes, it's not that good of a design. Yes, it's got a terrible move pool, stats, and nature. Not nature. It's got a bad move pool, weak stats, and its ability does not complement it at all. But I don't mind it because it comes with the heart scale, which essentially means yay for the heart scale. If it had a 90% success rate of having the heart scale opposed to a 50%, I may have even been able to say I like it. However, it doesn't and I can't. Let me tell you, post-commentary is weird. Hint, I use Vital Throw I think 3 times, then Juan uses a Hyper Potion. No, I must only use it twice. Then Juan uses a Hyper Potion. I get worried because of Rain Dance, considering he is the Water-type gym leader. I incorrectly assume that most of his Pokemon have the ability Swift Swim. The only ones that do, I believe, are this Whiscash and his Kingdra, which I actually completely forget about until that Kingdra actually arrives in the battle. So go me, I forget about what is clearly above and beyond his strongest and most annoying Pokemon. Spoiler warning, the vast majority of this is just me trying to kill the Kingdra. It takes forever. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It has Double Team, it has Swift Swim, and here's the kicker, it knows Rest. It knows Rest. It's such a bitch. Of course, it's still not as bad as Groudon is in Soul Silver version, because Groudon, oh my god, Groudon knows Rest, a legendary Pokemon. Eventually what I had to do to catch it was get the Abomasnow I had EV trained in the past, take it to a move tutor, and teach it the particular move known as Worry Seed, which changes the opponent's ability to Insomnia. Insomnia, of course, being, ooh, I freaked the fuck out here, but I totally know that Kaboom is safe from that sort of thing. Kaboom, yeah, 2 health. You should have listened, you should have heard this. I got so worried and I was apologizing to Kaboom and begging Jelly to defend my honor. And then I got a bit annoyed when I remembered that Water Flying means Ice Beam was neutral. It's only about 4 minutes from now that I realize that Dragon Water is also neutral to Ice and start exploiting that by having Jelly use Ice Beam instead of Fly. Yeah, I totally can't be bothered recording this again. By now I had actually expected to be in bed letting this upload. It is currently 12:15 in the morning, which does mean it's slightly past. You get confused by the in the morning and the afternoon for 12. I do on occasion. Yeah, I fully expected to be finished. I recorded this the first time around 11 o'clock, and spent the 45 minutes between the end of recording and starting again trying to make the vocal volume louder than the game volume. Hint, I couldn't. I record them on the same track, which I decided to do for convenience's sake. I also got really worried when I used Rollout, but don't worry, Hinden doesn't die because of that. Of course, if you've forgotten, the reason I got worried was because the exact same thing killed Matthew the Azumarill, using rollout means I can't choose what attack, or indeed what I do at all. Presuming the last attack hit, it just rolls out again, meaning I couldn't heal or anything. But yeah, don't worry about that. Hinden won't die because of rollout. So yeah, I put the game audio and my vocal audio on one track because it's a much easier system for me, and it's the way that Matthew told me to do it. He is much better at editing, so he has separate tracks for the audio and the game. That's the conversation in the game. That's also partly because I'm liable to say something stupid, and he is much less forgiving about keeping them in than I am, and so he has on occasion removed something I've said from commentary. There have actually been times where 2 months afterwards I watch the video and go, what did I say there? Yeah, my conversation here is completely different to what it was last time. I was panicking about dealing with this Kingdra because right here I say, what the fuck is wrong with me? It's too late for super potions? What the fuck? I need full heals! I need max heals! I need hyper potions and full restores and things! Then Hinden died. In case you missed what happened there, it used Water Pulse and confused me. I was still on around 70 health, so I decided to use Rest. Then it used Water Pulse again, put me down to about 20 health, and then I used... and that was the same turn I used Rest, so it used Water Pulse and put me down to 20 health. I tried to use Rest, and just as it's gone, Hinden is confused, I've gone, no, wait. And then it hurt itself in its confusion, and my Hinden died. Probably my most talked about species by now, Wailord. And, yep, I killed the Wailmer I could have caught, like, 2 parts ago. How good am I? Oh my god. So now, of course, if you've forgotten, I still have Jelly on my team, so I still have a Water type. And then in the PC, I have a Clam Pearl, a Clawfish, and a Sphere, meaning I've got a bucket, like, I think half of my available Pokemon are part water. I just sort of suffocated on my throat and made a really dumb sound while doing it. This is the point in time I realized that Ice Beam is in fact neutral, and I'm like, yay, Ice Beam, holy crap, it froze! And then I used Fly, because I'm like, hoodoo! What I really should have done is switched in Kaboom and nailed it with the Thunder, but I was quite reasonably worried that it would defrost. And it didn't for like 4 turns, so go me. Then I run out of PP for Ice Beam, so I'm really annoyed about that, because I wanted to use it again and again and again, and Surf does jack all. But I use Surf anyway, because it's got good accuracy, and it hitting means that if Kingdra uses Surf... Not Surf, if Kingdra uses Rest, it would go to sleep for 2 turns and give me time to heal Kaboom and heal the Leap and Tyson, maybe. I don't know what I was planning. I wonder if any of you noticed that between the time where I said if Kingdra uses Surf and the time where I said no, not Surf, Rest, there's actually a pause because Steam decided to just ejaculate itself all over my screen and get in the way and stop my talking. Yeah, so the Kingdra ran out of PP, and I was quite happy about that, so I sent in Fahrenheit, and I tried to use Rock Slime before going, wait, Rock Slime's horribly inaccurate, and Kingdra still used Double Team the maximum amount of times for it to be effective. So I was a bit annoyed about that and used Earthquake and realized, holy shit, I've actually taken a fair bit of damage from Struggle. I was once doing a Shuckle solo run, I got up to, this was in Soul Silver, I got up to Koga, and I got up to Koga's Muck. I was insanely proud of how I was doing, and the problem was I ran out of PP, and I used Struggle once, and it killed me. No, I didn't use Struggle once. His Muck used Struggle once, and Struggle, I believe, does something to your defenses, because it used it once, and my Shuckle died. I was incredibly annoyed. But luckily that wasn't a Nuzlocke, that was just, let's just send Shuckle 3 Elite 4 for shits and giggles. I called it a solo run, it wasn't, it was just let's do this for shits and giggles. Yeah, I've lost Hinden and I was really torn up about it, but in 45 minutes of just trying to fix it, well, like, make people see how torn up about it was, I sort of got over it, and now I'm just annoyed about it. So, I suppose you don't have to deal with depression. So my plan here was to just let Jelly tank these aura beams. I did some number crunching with this one and worked out... No, not this one, the next one. Yeah, I worked out that it does roughly 30 damage and attack, so if Jelly has over 40 health, I would use the super heal on Jelly... on Kaboom. And I used one there because I couldn't be bothered using a better item. And I switched in Kaboom, and I'm like, I bet you're all yelling at me right now, because these things are weak in terms of defenses, and Aura Beam does jack all, don't worry. And then Kaboom kills it with Thunder, and then I say something to the effect of, I should have used Light Screen, so my special defense would be better for whatever this next Pokemon is. Of course, the next Pokemon's actually a Crawdaunt, which means it's a good thing I didn't waste time and use Light Screen. Man, this is so strange doing post-commentary like this. I also rag on myself about how his best Pokemon was level 46, so I really should have gotten all of my Pokemon level 46. I stress about Crabhammer, but realize it's not doing too much damage. Then I get annoyed that I missed with Thunder. And now I'm like, I should use Shockwave. Wait, I just used Thunder. I missed. Fuck. I lost Kaboom and Hinden. I don't lose anyone else. You don't need to worry about that. I'll just get that out of the way. So I send in Tyson and use Fake Out, then I use Super Potion, then I use Vital Throw, and Vital Throw one-shots the Crawdaunt. Yeah, I lost. I would have been happier to lose both Lileep and Fahrenheit than either Hinden or Kaboom. It's so annoying that I lost both of the ones I wasn't as much a fan of. I've got nothing against Fahrenheit and the other one, but still, Kaboom is an Electrode, which are always fun, and Hinden is a Wailord, which... Oh, this is tragic! This is so tragic. My voice gets all sad here. I start to sound like this, but even worse. And I'm like, oh, but no, you're so big. As I was releasing Hinden the first time, I said, you were so big, and then it goes, Hinden was worried about you. Hinden came back. I'm doing this to take the focus band off of Kaboom rather. And then, so it goes, Hinden came back. And I say, and you have such a big heart. I got all sad and depressed, and I put it in heaven now. That's what I do. I go to the PC, I put it in box 14, and change it to the seafloor theme, and I changed the name of the box to Heaven, because Hinden was so kind and came back, and Gallisfowl didn't do that, and I should have kept Gallisfowl anyway, and just put it in another box, but I didn't. I released her instead, like an idiot. And so I named the box Heaven, and I think I might briefly mention that that's an epilepsy little PC that flashes while it says box name. So I put Hinden off to the side of Heaven so she can swim round to her very big heart's content. And although I don't say anything, I'm actually looking at all those Pokemon with contempt, because I don't really want to use any of them. I suppose between now and tomorrow I will have to think about what I'm going to do in terms of 2 new teammates, because I really don't want another water type on my team. Jelly is just fantastic at what he does. He and Tyson, they've never let me down. And none of my Pokemon have let me down. I've just let them down. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this something different. So I'll see you next time.